Let's remember this is a alpha, and even though the video says review, in no way is Monster Master a finished product. This is simply a review of my experience with this game as it is in early access. I would like to thank Flatfish Studios for supplying us with a review key for the early access build of the game on Steam. We really appreciate the opportunity. Flatfish Studio tackles the asymmetrical genre with its FPS vs RTS gameplay experience. That's what drew me into this game. I love the idea, and it looks like other games we stream on our channels. This game initially feels like Back 4 Blood on an indie size scale. Unlike Back 4 Blood, instead of playing as the Ridden in multiplayer matches, you'll play as the Monster Master. This Cthulhu-looking character is more of a RTS puppet master role. That's an element I really enjoy, considering I very much dislike having to play as the Ridden in Back 4 Blood. Hordes can quickly get out of hand when you're playing on the FPS heroes side, but each character has their own gear and abilities to fight through the chaos. For now, there is only the base game mode where you are able to pick your role, Heroes or Monster Master, before the queue, or let matchmaking auto-select your role. I want to start out my impressions with first mentioning the visual presentation of this asymmetrical title. Flatfish is a 10-person team, and I think this cartoonish, sometimes odd look perfectly encases what it is to play a game from a small studio. The gameplay experience begins with a world that meshes quality with silliness. I like to describe it as Gang Beasts meets Back 4 Blood. Sometimes the vibe is fun and keeps you going, but other times the silliness bleeds into performance issues and then the fun fades away quickly. Environments feel good, almost as if you're in a big movie set that you've been waiting to play paintball in. However, in every map, it almost seems like I'm too small compared to the setting I'm in. My eye level should be above the backs of chairs that I'm walking past. Instead, it feels like my eyes are barely looking over the cushion or arms of the chair. Having said that, the visuals are a huge reason I was interested in the game, and I continue to think that it's a strong leg Monster Master stands on. Let's get back to the performance I experienced during the alpha. Monster Master can handle pretty rough at times. Enemies can randomly fall into the floor but still deal damage on you, which ends up ending your run. But maybe the most critical bug was when my player would randomly walk slow during my encounters with monsters. But thankfully, Flatfish has already been hard at work and has released its first patch just a week after launch, which did fix the slowdown issue. This quick response does give me a lot of hope as this game goes from alpha, beta, and hopefully full launch. Now, as of me recording, matchmaking isn't working so good. I have gotten into 2 matches. When I haven't gotten into matches, I use the Force Game feature that will allow you to play against AI when you play as the FPS Heroes team. This is really the best and only way to play the game at the moment. I've also tried Force Match as the RTS Monster Master role, but unfortunately it didn't seem to load in the opposing AI Heroes team. One of my matches was as the Monster Master, and I did have a fun time. When and if you can get Monster Master to run properly, it's a good experience. Until then, we have to remember it's an alpha and try to be patient despite having to pay the $14 price tag for the early access build. Also, this game has a severe lack of gameplay, visual, and performance options in the settings, if any at all. As the Hero Squad, you have 4 playable characters outfitted with their own individual loadouts and abilities. Each feels unique, but due to the lack of multiplayer ability, it was very hard to gauge how a full 4-player team would flow together. Some abilities seem ineffective, like Rush, but others, like the Force Push, seem to be crucial. One thing that also sets apart this game from other asymmetrical FPS games is you have the ability to build turrets like tower defense games. The Monster Master also has abilities and traps built into the map, allowing him to impale or block enemies. Another feature similar to Back 4 Blood is the Monster Master also has a sort of card system which allows you to choose what kind of monsters you will spawn during the match. Not many are available at this time, but it's also really hard to load into a match as the RTS role anyway. When I'm playing Monster Master and the game is delivering as promised, it's a good experience. For now, the alpha build has many flaws, including the looming fact that half the game doesn't really feel playable. I don't think Monster Master will find its identity until it's out of the weeds, but it does have a style. If the community, the consumer, and Flatfish Games have the patience, then this game has a shot at being a great indie game. For now, if you think the $13.99 price tag is worth getting in and helping this team make a solid game, then have fun watching this game hopefully grow. If not, I would wait until a beta or a launch edition is released so you can go in and play the game it's intended, because I do think if the game was in a better state, I would recommend the title for the current price. Once again, I want to thank Flatfish Games for giving us this copy for review. If this was something you enjoyed, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Or if you're looking for other great indie games, I would recommend maybe checking out our Ginga Force review, or let me introduce you to one of my favorite indie games, Archvale.